Lucy Letby is accused of the murder of
7 babies and the attempted murder of 10 others.
While she was working on the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital.
Letby denies all of the charges over the incidents.
Lucy Letby was the only person working on the night shift. It was alleged in court that their mother was apparently told by Miss Letby, "Trust me, I'm a nurse."
On an otherwise typical day in the UK city of Birmingham, barrister Mark MacDonald is preparing to take a bold legal step that could potentially alter the course of judicial history. He's presenting what he claims as new and compelling evidence suggesting that Lucy Letby, the British nurse convicted of murdering infants, may have been wrongfully found guilty.
I mean, this is it. This evidence has now been put before the Criminal Case Review Commission from the experts who say shows that she is innocent.
If he can persuade the commission that his evidence is truly new, the neonatal nurse could be granted one final opportunity for freedom in the appeal court. A chance to overturn her 15 life sentences for killing 7 babies and attempting to kill 7 others.
I had to go to the leading neonatologists in the world, and that's what I've done. So we're in a different ballpark, if I can put it that way.
Those top experts concluded there was no proof of murder or intentional harm. One member of the panel, Professor Nina Modi, is among the leading neonatologists in the UK.
In each and every one of these cases, there was a very, very plausible alternative explanation.
But just because there's a plausible alternative explanation, does that actually clear Lucy Letby of murder?
No, what it does is require a much more detailed discussion to reach a view as to what went on. What seems to have happened, though, is that a less likely explanation for death has been seized upon rather than a more likely explanation for death.
However, the man that determined the murder was the sole possible explanation. The prosecution's lead expert witness, Dr. Dowie Evans, continues to stand firmly by his conclusions.
So the call for a retrial, what's your position on that?
They've reached a different opinion. Their barrister is saying there's new evidence. There is no new evidence, there's only new opinion. And the opinion has not been tested in court.
One of the most puzzling aspects of the Letby case is how the defence handled the original trial. Strangely, aside from the plumber, no expert witnesses were called to challenge or refute the serious allegations against the young nurse. It raises an important question. Why was there no one from the medical field brought in to push back against the prosecution's arguments?
Can you explain why at the original trial there were no defence witnesses, expert witnesses?
I'm a new team. I took over in September, and it would be pure speculation on my part for me to say why they weren't called, but they were not called. And I have to deal with it. It's just a fact. They were not called.
If there is new evidence, as her new barrister says, then the process should be gone through, shouldn't it? That should be heard in an appeals court.
Well, I love the way you put the phrase new evidence in inverted commas, because of course it's not new evidence.
Professor David Wilson, a leading expert on serial killers, believes there was a highly calculated and deliberate reason why not a single medical professional was called to testify in Lucy Letby's defence during her first trial.
The people who are calling for her to be let go are not idiots. They're professionals.
Remember, this international team of medical experts are giving their opinion in front of TV cameras. They would have to be able to withstand cross-examination about what they're being asked. Now, are you going to get a medical expert to say 100%, I'm 100% convinced that that baby didn't die as a result of Lucy Letby doing that? I don't think they would.
Unfolding in the court of public opinion, the ongoing debate over Lucy Letby's innocence or guilt has sparked an exceptional level of hostility and harsh criticism aimed at every side involved in the case.
This is how your theories have been described by various medical experts. They're described as nonsensical, rubbish, ridiculous, implausible, fantastical, and even bollocks.
Yes, well, I think that says everything, doesn't it? Who are these people and where have they been over the last 8 years? And I think all the sofa sleuths and the Poundland Poirots, as one journalist have described them, really need to look at all of the evidence.
Throughout all of this, the families of the babies who were injured and killed have remained anonymous, yet they continue to insist with unwavering certainty that Lucy Letby is exactly where she deserves to be.
The parents of the victims have categorised really your inquiry and the calls for a new appeal as a misinformed circus. What is your response to that?
Great sadness. I can understand how upsetting this must be for them. But ultimately, I have never ever met a family who did not want the truth.
But it's those families that are saying that you and the panel are misinformed, that you're adding to their grief.
It's not our intention to add to their grief. It's our intention to reach the truth.
You know, if you talk about Lucy Letby, you go down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theory. She is Saint Lucy of Letby. She's become part of our culture wars.
And why is that? Why does she embody that?
I think she embodies that because she was nice. A nice Lucy Letby. And I think, you know, there's a sense in which people can't get their head around that Lucy Letby has been convicted of 7 murders and is, as things stand today, the worst serial murderer of children in British history.
The transformation from sinner to saint has been striking for a woman about whom we know very little. Beyond insisting she harmed no child, Letby has largely stayed silent.
What do you think Lucy Letby makes of this attention, this change of mood about her guilt or innocence?
In my experience, serial killers love being the centre of attention. And if we're thinking about possible motives for why she might have done this, she might have had a hero complex, you know, that need to be the center of attention, that desire to be a hero in a hero's tale. And of course, nursing very sick babies is going to make you the center of attention, whether those babies survive or tragically, whether those babies die.
Hero, not villain, is how Letby's legal team hopes she'll be seen when judged in the Court of Appeal.
We have new hope here. And she sees it, but she also sees it as her last chance from her point of view to get the truth out there. All Lucy Letby wants is a fair hearing.
You believe her?
I do.
I am Detective Chief Inspector Nicola Evans of Cheshire Constabulary. This has been a long and emotional journey.
The police have come out and said the Lucy Letby case has been rigorously and fairly tested. Do you accept that that's the case?
We do not.
Where has the failure been?
In failing to consider these highly plausible alternative explanations for the deaths and deteriorations of these babies.
But just as demands for Lucy Letby's release continue to grow steadily, Lucy Letby must be free! Police are ramping up their investigation, closely examining every baby death and near-fatal collapse linked to Letby across her whole career, with more charges against the nurse expected to be filed within months.
In your opinion, are there other babies who died, other babies who were hurt at the hands of Lucy Letby that she has not been convicted of?
I think so, yes.
How many?
I think about at least a dozen of them. Lucy Letby was on duty for all of these cases as well.
So I'm prepared to be on the wrong side of history, you know, if there is a future trial. But am I pleased that Lucy Letby is no longer working with children? You damn right I'm pleased that she's no longer working with children.
Stay tuned for part 4, where we'll continue to delve into this case and we'll take a look at interviews from coroners and others involved in the investigation.